world can't stop the sun from shining whenever you're around.
Hello and welcome everybody. My name's Rose Smith from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com. Thank you for joining me today. I'm here with the Aquarius January 2022 horoscopes. Well, a fair bit happening this month. There's always a fair bit happening actually. You're starting the year with your co-ruling planet Saturn in your fourth house. No, sorry, Saturn in your sign and Uranus in your fourth house of home and family. So with Saturn, it's been there for a while. It spends roughly 2.5 years in each sign. So it's been there for a while. So you're used to the effects. But you might be feeling with this as if you are more mature, you're feeling probably more experienced, and you're probably a little bit more cautious than what you have been in before that in recent years. So, you know, although everybody's getting older, it's like you're really feeling it in some way. With Uranus in your fourth house, there could be really sort of unusual things happening around your home. And again, it's been there for a while. So although unusual things happen, it's sort of usual to have unusual things happen, if that makes sense. The other thing that's happening for some people in the Western Americas is a little unusual thing called a black moon. It's not really astrologically significant, but it's a bit different. It only happens every 32 months or so. And that is when there's 2 new moons in the calendar month. So on the 31st, we get the second new moon, which is a black moon. If you're west of Chicago in Canada, the US, Mexico, or South America. In the case of the UK, Australia, New Zealand, we're actually getting our new moon on the 1st of February. So we still get the same benefits. It's just a day later because we're ahead in time. We also have Mercury and Venus retrograde. So I'll talk more about this when we come to do your horoscope proper. Basically, I'll just briefly explain. I like to draw 2 tarot cards as theme cards for the month for you. We'll have a look at your horoscope in depth, and then I'll do a psychic channeling at the end, so do stick around for that. And if you're new, subscribe and be alive and hit that notification bell right now. Okay, let's go to the board and see what these cards have to say. Alrighty, so I'll draw 2 cards. You can think of the first one as the first half of the month and the second one as the second half of the month, if you like. All right, that pile of cards, it was a pile of cards there, but I'll go with the middle one actually, out of the pile. Close my eyes now. What do I see for Aquarius for January? Oh, right. Okay. The rules. It's all about the rules. You're really not a rule follower, Aquarius. So although you've got Saturn here, it's like you're discovering that there's rules because Saturn's here in your sign. So it could be, this month could be about you paying more attention to the rules, or alternatively breaking the rules. I see like a scroll, and it's a scroll of regulations, and you're unrolling it and you're reading them. No, you're not happy. So even though Saturn would love you to follow the rules, you tend to make up your own rules. I think that's okay. And we have the 9 of Cups. This is about your dreams and your heart's desires and your dreams. Okay, dreams and wishes, hopes and dreams. And you do have a fair bit happening here in your 11th house. So, and starting the year off with the moon there. So it might be that your hopes and wishes are coming up for you to explore. That's a good thing. All right, so the second card. Let's have a look at what comes out. Close my eyes. What do I see? Okay, I see it's like art, painting a picture. This is you composing your life, okay? It could be like a painting. It could be music, a piece of music, something artistic where you realize you are the composer or the designer or the creator of your own life. It's all up to you. and if you want to make rules, go straight ahead. But there's something going on because there is a Saturn-Uranus square. It's actually from February. It's strongest from February to April. And there is a square here. There's some sort of tension between your co-rulers, your family life, and what you want. You might find that you're putting restrictions on yourself, okay? Initially, you might think it's other people putting restrictions on you. When you think about it, there's something around you putting restrictions on you. Okay, so the second card, the King of Swords. Okay, so that's you, I'm afraid, I think. This is somebody who thinks a lot and can be quite detached. And has been through a lot. You see, seated on the diamond here, has come under heat and pressure at some point. And the sword decides what is going to be kept and what's going to be cut and gotten rid of. And so you may cut some elements out of your life this month because there's too much going on and there's too much stress associated with it. So decisions to be made this month. The only issue with the King of Swords, I find, is that although this masculine energy is very good at making decisions and cutting things out, it's important to do it with compassion if you let people go, you know, in your life, for example. Or maybe it's just old situations or your belief systems from the past that you're going to change. Alrighty, now I'm just going to make this a bit bigger for you to see, and I'll put that up there like that. So just remember these cards. Right, okay. Your hopes and dreams and cutting things out of your life. Okay, so Eastern Hemisphere, most of the planets are over here. This is about you being more independent. Maybe you want to go on holidays by yourself or, you know, have some time out. There is a lot happening here in your 12th house. You do need some privacy and solitude. Okay, but independence is important to you. Mercury and Venus, there's Mercury there and Venus here in your 12th house. Mercury's retrograde from the 14th to the 3rd of February, plus or minus a few days either side. Can result in miscommunications, difficulties travelling, technology can play up, contracts can be, you know, torn up, or you have to, if you sign a contract, you have to go back and revisit a contract, you know. So things change when planets turn direct. So it's best that you don't make any major decisions that you actually act upon this month. Make the decision, by all means. Probably wait until February if you can to actually act upon them. Venus is retrograde until the 29th. Venus looks after your love life, but also your finances and beauty and art and politeness and kindness and gentleness and things like this. So you could find in that department things go a bit quieter. I've already talked about the black moon that happens every 32 months. Co-rulers, Uranus and Saturn. I've talked about that. The other thing I noticed, Mercury here. So Mercury is going to be in your 12th house. It's going to come into your sign and then it's going to go back into your 12th house. And on the 1st of January, to start the year off, it's conjunct your ascendant. So I worked out very roughly that it basically moves 4 degrees per day. So you've got roughly about 14 days to when Mercury goes retrograde, where you can speak up and really, with Mercury in your sign, it's very strong and very potent. Your message gets out there. But then it loses some sort of potency as Mercury goes back into the 12th house. So if you've got something important to say it in the first 2 weeks, and preferably in the first week, because the shadow period of Mercury coming on, say a week before the 14th. So I hope that's not sort of too complicated. But yeah, just really sort of impacted upon me. The first week of January is the best time for getting your message out into the world. Okay, so your horoscope proper, from the 30th of December to the 3rd of January, Venus is conjuncting Venus. And this gives you a strong desire for love and affection. There could be a new romance or a new friendship. You meet someone special. An established relationship can be revitalized or rejuvenated. If there's somebody you wanted to reach out to, it's likely that there could be warm feelings created, and this could be the start of something beautiful. You need to be surrounded by beauty and harmony. And also your artistic inclinations are stimulated now. So that's all true. It's probably not at full strength because Venus is retrograde. So you might get these ideas, but you may not necessarily act upon them because you don't have all of the Venusian energy at this point. 31st of December to the 3rd of January, new moon in your 12th house here, bringing your subconscious, your spiritual life to the forefront. Okay, it's like there's new beginnings. You could be feeling especially sensitive. You need privacy and solitude, and you may wish to shield yourself from emotions and problems of other people. It's a great time for peaceful meditation, contemplation, and spiritual renewal. 31st of December to the 25th of January, Mercury moves into your sign here, and you're likely to speak out and let your voice be heard on matters you've been considering or mulling over for some time. You're more keen, more alert, and you express yourself well. It's an excellent time to initiate discussions and communication, but when you're getting your message across to other people, make sure that you listen to them as well. And that's to the 25th of January. But remember, after the 14th, there's some loss in the strength at which you get your message out, or there's the possibility of miscommunications. Okay, 3rd of January to the 7th of January, Venus sextiles Pluto, and this means that you'll probably be very receptive to beauty and affection. You could be tender and gentle towards other people, and you want to help them in some way, and they will help you in some way in return. So if you make the effort, then you'll be rewarded, and that will make you very happy as well. The 6th of January to the 9th of January, Venus sextiles your MC. This means you could meet some people who could really benefit your career, or become friends at a later time. Take advantage of all the opportunities to socialise with people, especially those you have professional ties with, because the outcome is likely to be quite positive. 8th of January to the 11th of January, Mercury sextiles Chiron. And this can bring relief to you because certain issues that have been around, can be resolved now. If you have any worries or concerns in your personal life, it's a great time to search for the resources that will resolve them. During this period, there can be opportunities to heal or stabilise relationships with friends and family members. And it's likely that your wit and humour can assist you in talking your way out of complicated and long-standing situations. You get things back on track rather quickly. 17th of January sees a full moon in your 6th house here. And this is the house of your everyday habits, your work, and also your health and well-being. So there could be a little bit of turbulence here. Something at home, something at work requires your attention. Could be concern over health, diet and nutrition, putting your life in order. Self-improvement is quite likely now. 6th of January to the 24th of January, Saturn sextiles Mars, bringing cooperation and harmony with co-workers, and also clubs, organisations and teams generally. If you're part of a group, it's likely that you're going to work together very effectively now. Business meetings run very smoothly, and you can make decisive agreements with a clear strategy. Discipline, teamwork and self-control are highlighted. You're able to work long hours without the usual stress or fatigue that usually goes along with prolonged effort. It's a great time for projects and business partnerships because they're likely to have a stable, long, practical and successful life. From the 16th to the 19th, Mars conjuncts your moon. You're likely to be more temperamental, impassioned and more emotional than usual. Okay, you're not really looking at the logical side of things so much now. Watch you're not irritable. Sometimes minor annoyances come up and you might overreact. And watch your relationship with your family and women who are close to you. Then we have 18th of January to the 18th of February. The Sun moves into your sign here, and this helps you make a strong statement to the world about who you are, and it's like your presence is amplified, okay? And if you're communicating with other people, which you probably will, then watch that there are no miscommunications while Mercury and Venus are retrograde. People are likely to follow your lead. You can sell your point of view. You may be a little bit sort of preoccupied with your own ideas. That's fine. Watch you don't ignore other people. 22nd of January to the 5th of March, Mars is in your 12th house here, and it's like you want to do something and it's in your mind, but you can't pull it off on the physical level. I just got to close the door. Sorry, I've got a noisy husband. Noisy husband and noisy cats today. Okay. So, Mars in the 12th house is what we were talking about. It's not the most auspicious time to act on your own behalf, but it is a great time to do things that benefit other people, and you'll actually feel happy if you're helping other people. So just watch with Mars there that you're not impatient or irritable. 24th of January to the 14th of February, Mercury in your 12th house. It's a time for quiet study and inward reflection. You might be feeling more intuitive and sensitive to hidden behind the scenes aspects of a situation. But you might be less inclined to speak your mind, and that's probably just as well with Mercury retrograde. So it's time to adopt a wait and see approach to any situation. 21st of January to the 5th of February, Venus conjuncts Sun. This gives you a strong personal magnetism and you attract appreciation, affection and attention. There's feelings of love, a desire for beauty and an urge to be creative. It's a great time to treat yourself and go and do something just for fun. Okay, I talked about the black moon, and in your sign it means that you're probably more perceptive and sensitive than usual, and if you can have some time out or spend some time at home, that's probably what would suit you better than being out with crowds or with other people. 21st of January to the 5th of February, Venus conjuncts the Sun. I just talked about that. Okay, good. Right, that's your horoscope. And now I'm going to close my eyes and see what I can see for you in January 2022. Awesome Aquarius. Okay. All right, I've got a door in front of me and it's like you're picking the lock. It's been locked for a long time. So maybe you bottled something up and you might not be consciously aware of this, of what it is, but there's something deep down in that subconscious and you're going to let it out. So it's going to come out. maybe if if you've got a partner or maybe your family, there could be some long-standing issues where you've sort of danced around the issue a bit before, and you go over the same ground every time. There's something new's going to pop out this time, which is like you never really get to the core of it, but this time there is a core, and this will help because you'll be able to heal the situation once you get your feelings out about this. This definitely feels like something that's been bottled up to me. Yeah, so there's a clock face in front of me now, and it's like it wasn't the time before to get to this very deep level, but you'll feel better after you've got this out. Okay, the door is opening up in front of me now. Yes, it's definitely to do with your family and your family of origin. So it goes back to your childhood, and maybe you felt that you weren't heard enough in the family, so then you had to do naughty things or something like that to get noticed or get some attention, especially if you're a sort of middle child, not the eldest child and not the youngest child, but in the middle. There might be something there for you to look at. Okay, but really it's more about putting your side across to the other party, to the other person, in a sort of way that makes sense, that they can comprehend. So your feelings are one thing, and you're normally quite detached from your feelings, or you can be detached from your feelings, but they're still there, and they're an energy, and they're real. So you've got to get a balance here between your feelings and also your thinking. Yeah, because I feel like those two things are at odds in some way. I'm seeing all these little things standing up in front of me. It's like it reminds me, I think the name is villi. This is in the intestines. These are the fine little filaments that stand up. You might need to look at your diet because there might be some intestinal issue there. They're a bit sluggish. They're not standing up the way they should stand up. And maybe give up bread or carbs or sugar or something. Anyway, have a look at that and see if that applies to you. Okay, but it's like getting down to a cellular level in your body. And yes, you do have the full moon in your 6th house, so this is going to be a little bit turbulent. So yeah, I do feel you'll be looking at your health this month with the eye to improve your health. Okay, so it's not that I'm not saying your health is going to get bad or anything. I'm saying that there are things you can do to improve your health, and I feel like you're finally going to look at what they are. Now, interestingly, the intestines and the villi, the intestines, the small intestine is about sorting out what you need and what you don't need. And at the beginning of this horoscope, I mentioned Saturn and Uranus getting the balance and cutting out the things that you don't need. So the small intestine actually sort of classifies what it decides to keep and what it lets go of. And so it classifies. So it does a similar thing to what needs to be done for Saturn and Uranus. You need to listen to both because they're your co-rulers, and find the structure and the caution and whatever you need from Saturn, and mix that in with the excitement and the change and a bit of the energy of Uranus. You see, there is a balance point there. And you might find when you do that, any intestinal problems that you might have, they might sort themselves out. You can take probiotics and whatever other stuff you need by all means. Maybe in fixing your health, it comes about as part of you getting the balance between your Saturn and your Uranus. Okay, so I hope that makes sense to you. Go off on a tangent there, but I never know what I'm going to see, to be quite honest. So yeah, and how does it fit in to what we're talking about, basically? So anyway, I hope that's helpful for you, and I just want to thank you for all your support in 2021. I really appreciate that, and helping me grow my little channel. Well, it was a tiny channel. Now I think it's a small channel now. It's grown up to a small channel. Anyway, I just want to wish you well and all the best for 2022. We're turning a corner and things are looking much more positive for this year. Okay, if you're new here, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit that notification bell right now. Have a wonderful month, everyone, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website, absolutesoulsecrets.com, for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.